he saw me singing in the college cafeteria, and I was singing like a sad Valentine's Day song, like a broken-hearted love song, with a few of my friends. It was an a cappella song. And so he comes back after I finished singing the song, and he brings me a bouquet of 24 roses, and he's like, "You shouldn't be alone on Valentine's Day." And I didn't know who he was. He just said his name was Doug, and he just kept walking. It was kind of like an angel, just came and handed me flowers to show me some love, and then he left. And so, you know, every once in a while, he would give me these surprises. I remember on Easter, he left in the dean's office a bunny rabbit with a necklace and a bracelet and earrings, all real, you know, gold and diamonds. And everything that he did was just really kind of like big. You know, he was never kind of like simple ever. So we ended up talking. He wore suit pants sometimes. He wore ties sometimes, and he had a fancy car, and he parked it where like the teachers park as opposed to like where all the kids park. He always was kind of like ahead of his time. And he was a supervisor at a big insurance company while he was going to college, but he was studying music business. So I always felt like he was a grown-up, and it was kind of like a little bit weird to, you know, befriend this person. He was my age, but he was just really mature. So I found out a lot about him, and we ended up working together. He became my manager, and he said, "I think that you can get a record deal." And I'm like, whatever, you know, because record deals weren't really a thing that I was aspiring towards. I just kind of wanted to sing, you know, whatever that meant. You know, I was 19, 20 years old at the time, so I wasn't one of those kids who like had it all figured out. I was just like singing, period. Where's the train station? You know, we'll busk. And so he ends up getting me this huge record deal, and we make over $1 million together. And in the midst of that experience, we had this huge disagreement. And, you know, the tactics of the music industry to pull artists away from their team are real tactics. And I don't dwell on that experience, but that experience is what broke me and my love apart at the time. We were told not to talk to each other, so we didn't speak for 7 years. And, you know, when you're really, really young in that way, for me, I was just like, I'm going to do whatever the lawyer says. It was really painful, really uncomfortable not to speak to each other. I felt like I had lost a huge part of my heart, but at the same time, you know, you're being told this person did you dirty and they were wrong, etc. So we didn't speak for about 7 years, and towards the end of those 7 years, I decided that I was going to talk to him. And we get into a room together in our lawyer's office, my litigator at the time, her office, and we settle outside of court. 3 years later, I'm in Los Angeles. I just filmed R&B Divas Los Angeles. I'd finished that. The second season was done. Got through the reunion. All these crazy things were happening. Fun things, but crazy things. But suddenly, a lot of weird things started happening in Los Angeles. And people were just in a strange state of mind. And so I sold all my things, my assistant and I moved into my mom's basement. I just left LA. I had this beautiful, beautiful place with all these windows, and I just left. I just felt like it was time to change, it was time to move. And I'm not afraid of change. I'm one of those people who, when I see change happening, I'm like, okay, let me get ready, you know, so I might go on a cleanse or whatever. So I get to my mom's house with like 2 onesies to wear around the house, and some pajamas and just some easy stuff and a couple of Bibles and some concordances and just all this stuff to study. And I just lock myself in the bedroom downstairs and just pray and talk to God and read and remember. You know, sometimes life happens and so much happens quickly and you kind of just forget. What do you forget? Whatever. But I'd forgotten so much. And I began to remember little by little. And one night, I come out of, I guess you'd call my prayer closet, and I go up to my mom and I say, "Mom, I still love Douglas." And she goes, "Of course you do." And I'm like, you know, so I email him and I thank him because I was in this gratitude space. Something had came over me and I just felt grateful for life and health and love and all of my experiences. I had come to this place where I had come to peace with everything I had experienced, and I just felt gratitude. So I thanked him for everything he'd ever done and given to me. And it was a long email, but when he wrote me back, the first line in his email was, "I still love you." And that resonated with me so deeply that I just knew that I had to tell him, I had to see him, I had to tell him that I still loved him. And so we meet. He flies from Los Angeles to New York, and I'm about to do BeautyCon. So I do BeautyCon. I host BeautyCons, one of their events in New York City. And then I go over to the Dream Hotel, and he meets me there. And we stayed up all night long talking and reminiscing over a bottle of Stag's Leap. And we got back together. 7 days later, we got engaged. We recorded the entire Milestone album, which was my last project, in about 7 days. And then 21 days, skip ahead to Las Vegas. We're there for the Soul Train Awards. And I'm looking around, and I'm like, I've got this big ring on my finger. And I'm like, do you want to get married in Vegas? He's like, what? Get married in Vegas? And so I look for a place, and we're at Caesar's Palace, and there's this big, beautiful garden with beautifully cut hedges and greenery and all this kind of stuff, and little stone paths. And I'm like, let's get married right there. And for some reason, he just decides to agree with me. He does. And a lot of it was that we didn't want to live in sin. We didn't want to be so in love that we were just sort of having all these experiences that were meant for married people. So we were like, you know what? Let's honor God. Let's go ahead and get married. And my thing was, I didn't really want to share it with a lot of people. I had been in the industry so long, and so many things had happened. I just didn't need people's opinions. I didn't need to put it on Instagram. I didn't need to sell it to a magazine. I just wanted to be married and in love for myself. I wanted that for me. And so we got married in Vegas. And like the song says, we sealed our love with a kiss. I remember asking my assistant to run downstairs into the store, because Caesar's Palace has this huge mall at the bottom of it, and find me a dress. And she couldn't find a white dress, so she got me a baby blue dress. And she runs it upstairs, and we get this makeup artist, and she does my hair and my makeup so beautifully. And we go downstairs into this beautiful garden, and we get married in Vegas. And we celebrated and had a lot of fun. We ate really, really good Italian food at Lavo, one of my favorite restaurants in the world. And we got married in Vegas. So that is the story. And that's the secret that I've been keeping for a really long time. It's been almost 3 years. This November, we'll celebrate our 3rd-year anniversary. And it has been a really beautiful, crazy, tumultuous, fun, movie-worthy time. And I'm grateful that he's loved me through everything that's happened over the last 2.5, 3 years, because it's been intense. I have my own record label. I went completely indie. I was in the middle of lots of controversy, but his love has stayed really true and really pure. And I'm grateful. I got married in Vegas.
I have an idea. Let's head to Vegas like in movies and have no fear. What this is better than movies. Let's just not share. So far my life is a movie. I'll wear white there and kiss you and say I do. Let's keep a secret, you and me. Let's love forever happily. They'll never notice you and me in Vegas. Gotta find a man to stand at the end of a long walk and say a prayer and read a word from our Lord. No photographs, just evidence in our hearts, just now and here. One kiss to seal forever. Let's keep a secret, you and me. Let's love forever happily. They'll never notice you and me in Vegas. I've got to call back home, tell them we're here alone. Ask them to have my hand, woman and man. Ooh, let's keep a secret, you and me. Let's love forever happily. They'll never notice you and me in Vegas. Oh, let's keep a secret, you and me. Let's love forever happily. They'll never notice you and me in Vegas. Oh, da 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 ba ba da da la da da do da do 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 da ba da li do 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 do. Skittle do dee ba bum bum do ba da do da 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 ba 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 da 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 da.